Hello everyone, I'm Havoc, and this is Minecraft All the Mods 3, and we are right back at it again today, looking at our little machine area. I've made some improvements. I have added to this area with some concrete to walk on. It makes you fast, which is really nice. It's also a clean looking surface to walk on, and I have made some upgrades to our machines because we're going to need this stuff for today's project. Oh, also, you'll probably notice that everything's gone. Last episode, we had set up mystical agriculture here, and this has all been moved to a super secret location downstairs. And I've made it look a little prettier, but I've got this running down here out of the way. To make as much room as I was going to need up there, this was going to end up taking a lot of space, and I just didn't want that in the way and constantly making noises being collected. So it's down here out of the way. Is this full? We're full. This cannot hold anymore, so I should probably actually turn that off in there and not have it running all the time. But I'll do that later. That's okay. This one in here still needs to run because these are all our other essences, and they are nowhere near as full because I only have a few lily pad of fertilities in there. This one had a ton, and I could move those over. I say I can. Let's actually go ahead and do that because we already know that this little area doesn't need to be running right this minute. I'll leave some of these in here because I'm probably going to grab some essence out eventually, and then I'll need it to run again. So let's just add a few in around here. I've got a lot. Let's spritz them around and try and make sure we're prioritizing. Ooh, did I grab that? No, okay. This side where there are stuff. Alright, so that's much better. Now those will run faster. And then as I make more lily pads, I can replace the ones that I stole. But these essences are now running faster, and that's good. So we can go back up here to the main area and work on today's project. And today's project is going to be getting into applied energistics. So I have prepared a few things for us, and it's all going to start with getting a controller, which is what this recipe will be when I put the circuit in the middle. But to begin with, I need inscribers, and an inscriber is it's a press, right? It's going to press down with one of these presses, as they're called, and create an item. So if I take the engineering press in there, I need to then add in a diamond. Now if I try and shift click the whole stack in there, it's only going to put one because this isn't the best inscriber. But the better inscriber requires us to make some stuff. So I am going to go ahead and get a silicone press and some silicone. Put the silicone press, one silicone in, and then we're going to take this press out and put all of these ingredients back in with a little bit of redstone and get an engineering processor. Yes, and the engineering processor can then be placed right here, and that creates an ME controller. And with an ME controller, we can create power for the ME network from power that we have running in our regular lines. This will convert the power from RF to KRF, whatever that is. But it's the power type that you need for an ME system. Now, the reason we wanted that is we're going to upgrade our inscriber, and that's also going to require a couple more of these processors. So we're going to have to do it the slow way to begin with, where you put one in at a time, wait patiently for that one to come out, and then we're going to swap this out to a silicone, change these out. And once I get two printed, or two engineering circuits, I'm getting distracted, I can craft one of these inscribers up into an advanced one, which it's from a different mod that makes this a little bit better. I didn't know it could go on top. That's interesting. I thought the silicone always had to go on bottom, but I shift click them in and the silicone goes to the top. Interesting. Alright, but with these two, on either side we get an advanced inscriber. This one is much better. It does not run off of this power, so you have to have the controller for this to work. But once we add this in here, I can put in and say, I want you to make me 8. And it will make 8 of the inscribers, or 8 of the engineering circuits. And then I could put an entire stack in and it will process the entire stack. It also has more upgrade slots, which is what this is right over here. And we are about to make some upgrades for it as we speak. I'm going to need some calculation processors to go in there, and that will make this faster. So actually, let's look at a few other things. So the way I made that controller, the way I made these pure Fluix crystals that I needed for the controller, was taking and making Fluix crystals, which is really simple. Let me turn my magnet off. But if you come to a pool of water and you put a charged Certus quartz, a nether quartz, and a redstone in, they become Fluix crystals. And you can do more than one at a time. I can throw as many as I'm holding in, and it makes 2. So I put 38 charged Certus quartz in, and that 38 charged Certus quartz becomes a lot more of the Fluix crystals. It becomes 2, and I already made a few more. So that's how you get the Fluix crystals themselves. If you want to make them into the pure version, you run this through some kind of grinder, a sag mill, a pulverizer, something of that order, and you get this Fluix dust. If you combine the Fluix dust with a little bit of sand, you get these tiny Fluix seeds. And because I have an enriching factory, I can run these through really fast and upgrade them to the pure Fluix crystal version. It's very nice, very efficient, and helps you to get these crystals. The same process goes for the pure Certus quartz. You take regular Certus quartz and you put it in here. It becomes the Certus quartz dust. You combine that dust with a little bit of sand, you get these seeds, and you put those seeds into the enriching factory and they will go up. You don't have to have an enriching factory. You can just throw these little seeds down in water and they will slowly grow. Or you can use a growth chamber, which is this little block, which is from the Applied Energistics 2 little stuff, which is a add-on to Applied Energistics. And it's quite useful. I have this already set up, so I'm just going to use it rather than make something new. Now, what I want to do is find my calculation press, which is this one, and put it in with a couple of these pure Fluix crystals and get the printed calculation press. And then I'm going to do a couple of silicone because I'm going to make some acceleration cards to make this go much faster. All I have to do is add these two in after I take this out. And you see it takes in a lot more than just one, so you can do multiple at a time. And I can leave that running and walk away, do something else, and it will do what it needs to do, no problem. But with a calculation processor placed in here with iron, 2 diamonds, and some redstone, it creates advanced cards. And these advanced cards can be combined with pure crystals to make acceleration cards. And acceleration cards can be placed in these upgrade slots to make this run even faster. So now I'm just going to let it make as many of these silicone as I can. And look how much faster it is with just 2 cards in there. We can come over here and make even more. 2 more cards. Add 2 more of those in. You get even more acceleration cards. You slap them in and this thing is just going to go like crazy. I mean, it's doing it so fast it's having trouble rendering this bar over here. It's just going a little bit over halfway and then done, a little bit over halfway and done. And that's how quick that's moving along. Now I want to make more of these. I want to have things running constantly, not just silicone and swapping out presses. So I'm going to go ahead and take those out, and we are going to make the rest of these engineering processors and upgrade the rest of our inscribers so that we can do more than one thing at a time. We're going to put that in, and this is the recipe for getting our advanced inscribers. These things can go anywhere where they're touching another machine, and they will pass power through them. This is going to look a little weird. Also, it's time to sleep. Don't want a creeper creeping up on us over here while we're working on this. But now I can leave that one there, put silicone in this one, put calculation in this one, engineering in this one, and logic, the one we haven't made yet, and the other one, this one right here. And I am just going to throw a whole lot of the ingredients in and let it run. And logic uses gold. You've seen the calculation uses Certus quartz. Pure Certus quartz is best. The engineering uses diamonds. Logic uses gold. And that is now running and producing us lots of the ingredients that we're going to need to turn around and make other items. The first thing that I want to get more of are these calculation processors, because more calculation processors means more speed upgrades, or acceleration cards as they're called. And that in turn will make this entire process even faster. So we're going to come down here to that one. I need more redstone, I need more silicone. I want to keep this thing pumped and running, and you can automate this too. Put that redstone in, more calculation processors. Now, this is just getting the resources we need to get started. What I'm going to do next is to make a drive and some disks. But to make these disks, you need lots and lots of processors. So that's why I wanted to get this up and running as soon as possible. And with the last couple of calculation processors, we can make a few more acceleration cards. And the one I'm going to want to accelerate next is definitely going to be our logic processors, because you need a lot of those moving forward. And we're going to look at some other things while that's running, and that's going to be making these little things. Quartz fibers take regular glass and some of the Certus quartz dust you get from grinding Certus quartz over there. So we're going to make some of these, and then you can take these quartz fibers and put Fluix crystals on either side, and you get ME glass cable. This ME glass cable is a very important recipe for many things to come. Plus, we're getting achievements here. We're also going to want quartz glass, which is glass surrounded by the Certus quartz dust. And these are going to be important in some recipes we're about to make, as well as some glowstone dust. I'm going to go ahead and take these seeds that I had prepared and let them process. And we're going to look at the crafting monitor. Nope. Crafting, what is it called? This, crafting terminal. Okay, so this takes a lot of things. A lot of things. But we're going to start with the illumination panel, which is some of this quartz glass we made, a little piece of iron, some glowstone, and redstone. Now I have iron in this chest, so I can make that. We'll go back through here. These are the panels. I'm going to want a few. I'll make 12 to begin with, because we're going to want to make multiple of these. Now we have logic processors. We need to make annihilation cores and formation cores, and these are also super simple to do, and I want quite a few. This takes the Fluix dust and the pure Certus crystals and some logic processors, which you've already seen made. The annihilation core just takes nether quartz and more of the same. And that gets us a terminal. And then we're going to add that terminal with a calculation processor and a crafting table to get a crafting terminal. So those all combined give us a crafting terminal. And I'm going to place a little piece of fiber glass cable here, and I will attach to that our terminal. And this is what we're going to be accessing in order to craft from now on once I make the drive. And that's the very next thing on our list, is to make the drive from Applied Energistics. And this requires some of the engineering processors, which I've already had making, and I'll make up some more in the meantime. The drive can be placed anywhere connected to this. I'm just going to do it right off the side here, and it connects to this cable to the controller, so it's powered and part of the system. And then we need to put disks in here. So if I look at storage, you'll see all of these disks right up here. These are what will hold the items in our network. And I want to go for 64K. And 64K disk is going to take a lot of processors. And when I say a lot, I am not exaggerating. It is going to take a massive amount of them, starting with these logic processors. Because what we need to do is make a 1K storage part, which is this right here. And you'll see each one takes a logic processor and an awful lot of these Certus quartz and an awful lot of redstone. Good news is I made an awful lot of these Certus quartz crystals, and we're going to make a little bit more right here. You take sand, you take the dust, and you get seeds. 1 sand and 1 dust makes 2 seeds. We're going to need more redstone for these recipes, so we will come right over. Grab a little bit of redstone, because as you saw, each one takes 4 redstone. It's in the corners, okay. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now, I'm going to make a whole lot of these. I'm not doing exact numbers because you need so many. You doing the math for it will take you forever. It's better just to simply make a bunch because you're going to need them for other items as well. But these, I'm talking about the processors, not these storage components. You're still going to need a lot of these, but you're going to need tons of logic processors. And I need to put more ingredients in here to continue processing diamonds, gold, and silicone. I need to grab. I prepared lots of stuff for our little project here today. Okay, so 30 will make, you divide that by 3 for the next tier up, right? Because you need 3 to craft it. That'll make 10 of these, and then 10 of those will make 3 of these. I'll have 1 extra of the 4K that I can't use, and that's okay. So we're going to make 27 of the tier 1s, and then we are going to take those, and what do I not have? Probably calculation processors is the most likely culprit here. I would like to go ahead and finish those if I could. We're going to need more silicone. Good thing is I have tons of silicone. Absolute tons of it. And now let's make some calculation processors. This takes a lot of redstone too, because you're using redstones for each of these processors, then you're using redstone in the crafting. It gets pretty intense as you go along. Alright, but that should be more than enough to make the rest of them. I needed 9 together, and those 9 then make the next tier up, which takes glowstone and more of the calculation processors. This gives us 3 16Ks, and then the 3 16Ks will go back in for all the other exact same ingredients, the glowstone, the quartz glass, and the calculation processor, and the 3 16Ks then become a 64K. This you're going to use with a little bit of quartz glass, redstone, and iron and make a storage cell. And you're going to plop this right into the drive here. And now I can put items in here, and you better believe I'll be putting all of these things that we've been crafting with straight into the system to make it easier to use. And I need to change the settings here. I want this to be JEI synchronized standard. And what standard means is I can press E to exit the inventory, and if I want to search something, I have to click in here and start typing. That way I can press E to exit that inventory at any time and don't have to worry about it typing E up here when I'm trying to leave the inventory. And that's just a personal preference there. You don't have to do it that way. You can do it any way you see fit to do it. There are a lot of different options for that, as you saw when I was breezing through there. We will go ahead and throw more gold into here. And let's see, I'm probably going to want at least one more of those, and then I want a lot of the logic processors, and then more of the calculation processors. And I'm going to want more of these advanced inscribers eventually. That way I can have all of these running and the inscribers running, making the final process. And it's time to sleep. I always know it's time to sleep whenever they yell at me about not having jobs. I will get to that. I have done some work, and I'll show you all that in just a minute. Okay, and we are going to check on our processors. You need silicone, you need more redstone. And now, these drives are wonderful, but they do have types. You see where it says 12 out of 63 types? That means I can only fit 63 different items into this. And a lot of people don't like that. And if you don't like that, you can always go with refined storage. Refined storage is a mod that's almost identical to Applied Energistics, but it's more simple. It's more simple. There aren't channels on the cables, and there aren't types in the storage. So if you're new to getting into storage systems, I would suggest going with refined storage. I personally like Applied Energistics simply because it's what I've used for so long. It's what I'm accustomed to. And that, honestly, there's no better reason I have for it than just that. I'm more accustomed with it, and thus I like it better. Now I'm going to go ahead and snag this one and use this one to also process these right here so it doesn't take as long. And what I want to get next is going to be more items into here for crafting. So I want to take things that I'm going to use for ingredients and put them into my ME network. Now the things like this, I don't want to put a printed logic circuit in. I want to put the final processor in, because this circuit being in here doesn't help me right now. But these items do. So let's get all of those placed in there. And I'm going to want to expand these first. So I want to already I can get rid of all these, because as you can tell, I can craft things right in here. I don't need all of these crafting tables anymore. I can take what I need out of here and craft in this immediately. So if I wanted to say make more of these, I can do that. And actually I can't do that because I'm out of pure flux crystals. And I have some more seeds to grow those right here. And there they go. Nice and simple. But, oh. We have a visitor. Just coming by to say hello. I didn't even realize it said he came into the colony, but he didn't say anything to me specifically. Oh, but yes, I want to get some more of these storage cells and expand that. And that's going to require me to make more processors. Super simple. So if I put storage in here and click on that part, I can now just shift click this and get a bunch of them. 62 is more than enough. Then we're going to go for the 4K. make... Oh, I don't have redstone in there. We're going to grab some redstone. Use my jetpack. It's cleaner movement. And 20 of those. We'll use those to make the 16K. Only 5. What am I missing here? And that's going to be quartz glass. So if I have some glass right over here, which I do, I can take the glass and put it in the 4 cardinal directions and surround that with the Certus dust to make more quartz glass, because that's what I needed to make more of these. And then I can use those to make 2 additional 16K storage components. And then I'll use both of those to make 2 additional disks. Now I have loads of space. Absolute loads of space in here. And I can start putting more items into this. And that little button that I'm clicking right there just cleans this grid out, so there's not things sitting in it. But that's pretty good progress, I would say, to get this set up. And I will do more work to expand our ME system off camera and get some stuff to show you. But before I leave real fast, I will let you see what we've done over here. Let's turn my jetpack on. I have done a little building. I think next episode we'll probably spotlight some more of this, the mine colonies, and expanding of it, so you'll have a little something to enjoy. Possibly next episode, or maybe the episode after that. But don't worry, we will be doing more of that soon enough. But if you enjoyed today's episode, feel free to leave a like, and if you want to see more content like this, consider subscribing to my channel. And I would like to know if you do usually like to use applied energistics, or if you like refined storage better, or if you do something completely different, something wild and crazy with drawers and barrels and who knows what else, or there's so many different things. There's inventory scanners and whatnot. What do you use? And maybe do you use different things at different stages of the game? Do you use refined storage and then change to something else, or combine both of them? Let me know. I would love to see what you guys do. And I will see you all next time.